Alright, today I'll show you how to solve the easiest math question from the hardest math test in the world. And this math test is called the Putnam math exam. And the median score is usually a 1 or a 0. So that's how hard it is. So the first thing I would do is focus on the numerator, which is x to the power of 4 times 1 minus x to the power of 4. And from there, I'll just focus on 1 minus x to the power of 4. And you can rewrite this to make it more simple for you as negative x plus 1 to the power of 2 times, and then the same thing again, negative x plus 1 to the power of 2. And then you would do the FOIL method for each equation, and you should get x squared minus 2x plus 1. And then same thing on the other equation as well. X squared minus 2x plus 1. And now you would do the FOIL method again. So you would distribute x squared to each term. Then you would distribute negative 2x to each term. And same thing with positive 1. Just distribute to each term. Okay, and from there, you should get x to the power of 4 minus 2x cubed plus x to the power of 2 minus 2x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2x. And just to simplify it, add like terms, you should get x to the power of 4 minus 4x cubed plus 6x squared minus 4x plus 1. And remember, this entire thing was multiplied by x to the power of 4. So we have to distribute this now. So you write x to the power of 4 times this entire thing. And you should get x to the power of 8 minus 4x to the power of 7 plus 6x to the power of 6 minus 4x to the power of 5 and plus x to the power of 4. And that's basically the numerator. So now we gotta divide the entire thing by 1 plus x squared. And the first term that I see that you can multiply is x to the power of 6. So you do x to the power of 6 times x squared plus 1. And you should get x to the power of 8 plus x to the power of 6. And both of these terms get subtracted. And you will bring down negative 4x to the power of 7. And 6x to the power of 6 minus x to the power of 6 is just 5x to the power of 6. And x to the power of 8 would just cancel out, which is equal to 0. So we don't write that. And you'll bring down the next term, which is negative 4x to the power of 5. So the next thing that you can multiply to get negative 4x to the power of 7 to cancel out is just negative 4x to the power of 5. And you have to distribute it to x squared plus 1. And once you distribute, you should get negative 4x to the power of 7 and minus 4x to the power of 5. So negative 4x to the power of 7 gets cancelled out, and so does negative 4x to the power of 5. We bring down 5x to the power of 6, and we also bring down the next term, which is x to the power of 4. So we would write 5x to the power of 6 plus x to the power of 4. So the next term they can multiply to get 5x to the power of 6 is just 5x to the power of 4. And once you distribute 5x to the power of 4 to x squared plus 1, you should get 5x to the power of 6 and positive 5x to the power of 4. So 5x to the power of 6 cancels out, and x to the power of 4 minus 5x to the power of 4 is just negative 4x to the power of 4. And now there's no actual term we bring down, so we just bring down plus 0. And now the next term we can multiply to get negative 4x to the power of 4 is just negative 4x to the power of 2. So once you distribute everything, you should get negative 4x to the power of 4 minus 4x squared. So negative 4x to the power of 4 would get canceled out, and 0 minus negative 4x squared is positive 4x squared. And now the next term you multiply by x squared plus 1 to get positive 4x squared is just plus 4. So the next terms we should get is positive 4x squared and plus 4. So once again, 4x squared gets canceled out, and we are left with negative 4, and that's our remainder. So that's pretty much the first part done, and this is how our final answer should look like. So don't forget the integral sign and the dx. And now we solve it just like any integral equation. So the antiderivative of x to the power of 6 is x to the power of 7 over 7. The antiderivative of negative 4x to the power of 5 is just negative 4x to the power of 6 divided by 6. And we can simplify this by dividing 2 on each side. So we get 2 over 3. Now, the next antiderivative, the antiderivative of 5x to the power of 4 is just x to the power of 5. Then the antiderivative of negative 4x squared is just negative 4x to the power of 3 divided by 3. Now our next antiderivative of 4 is just 4x. And now this is the tricky part. Finding the antiderivative of negative 4 over 1 plus x squared, you can treat it as its own integral. And also don't forget the negative sign as well. And we can rewrite this as negative 4, then the integral 10 of 1 over 1 plus x squared. And for this, you need to remember your trig identities. The antiderivative of 1 over 1 plus x squared is just arctangent. So our final answer would be negative 4 arctangent x. Let me just delete that. And that's our final integral with the antiderivatives. And now we just solve this by plugging in 1 and 0. The nice thing is that we don't have to really focus on the 0 because everything would just become 0. So we just plug in 1 for everything and we find our final answer. So 1 to the power 7 over 7 is just equal to 1 divided by 7 minus 2 over 3 plus 1 minus 4 over 3 plus 4. And now we're gonna stumble another tricky problem. So for negative 4 arctangent x, just focus on the arctangent. Arctangent of 1, if you guys remember, is just equal to pi over 4. Then you would do pi over 4 times negative 4, and that would just cancel out to negative pi. So in our equation, we would write minus pi. And now this is just simple math, and our final answer should be 22 over 7 minus pi. And that's it. You just solved the easiest question on the hardest math exam. Thank you for watching.